Today, we're diving into the world of personal finance. And who better to guide us than the legendary Suze Orman? If you've been looking for a way to build financial security, whether you're just starting out or trying to refine your strategy, this video is for you. Suze Orman has spent decades empowering people to take control of their money. And today, I'll be walking you through some of her most powerful advice. We're going to break down the steps you can take to build a solid financial future, starting with the mindset shift you need and moving all the way to smart strategies to help your money work for you. In the end, I'll be revealing a simple financial move Suze Orman recommends that most people overlook. It's the key to securing both your short-term safety and long-term wealth. So let's jump right into it and get started on your path to financial security. Chapter 1. Living Below Your Means. Alright, let's kick things off with one of Suze Orman's most important principles. Living below your means. It sounds simple, right? But in a world where we're constantly bombarded with advertisements and the pressure to keep up with others, it's not as easy as it sounds. Suze's advice is to buy what you need versus what you can afford when you can afford more than you need. Let's break that down. Just because you have the money to buy something bigger, better, or more expensive doesn't mean you should. Instead, focus on purchasing only what you actually need, even if your bank account says you can afford more. Living below your means is the foundation for building financial security. It creates a safety net that allows you to save more, invest wisely, and avoid unnecessary debt. Think about it. If you constantly push your spending to the limit of what you can afford, you're living on the edge. One unexpected expense or financial downturn could send everything crashing down. For example, maybe you've recently gotten a raise. Congratulations! But instead of immediately upgrading your car or moving into a bigger house, Suze would advise that you resist the temptation. Ask yourself, what do I actually need to live comfortably? By sticking to your needs and not indulging every desire, you give yourself more room to breathe financially. This isn't about deprivation. It's about having the discipline to say no to unnecessary upgrades so you can say yes to things that truly matter in the long run. Like growing your savings, securing your future, and having peace of mind. So here's a tip. Next time you're about to make a purchase, ask yourself, is this something I truly need, or am I just buying it because I can afford it? This simple question could save you thousands in the long run. Chapter 2. No blame, no shame. Suze Orman says that the foundation of a financial fresh start actually has nothing to do with money itself. Instead, it starts with releasing guilt, blame, and shame surrounding your past financial decisions. Here's the truth. We've all made mistakes when it comes to money. Maybe you've accumulated debt, overspent, or avoided saving when you should have. And while those choices might be holding you back financially, the real danger is when they start to hold you back emotionally. Carrying guilt or blaming yourself, or even your spouse or partner, can keep you stuck in a cycle of stress and inaction. Suze's advice? Let go of the blame and shame. It's time to stop punishing yourself for the past. This doesn't mean ignoring what happened. It means acknowledging it, learning from it, and moving forward with a clean slate. Financial security isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about having the right emotional tools to make better choices. When you release the weight of guilt, you free up mental space and energy to focus on the future. Here's a challenge for you. Take a moment today to forgive yourself for any financial missteps. It's time to draw a line in the sand. Say, that was then, and this is now, and start building from where you are with clarity and confidence. Chapter 3. Take a snapshot of your finances. Now that we've got the right mindset in place, it's time to get practical. Suze Orman emphasizes the importance of knowing exactly where you stand financially before you start setting goals or making plans. Think of it like taking a before picture on a fitness journey. How can you know where you're going if you don't know where you are? This is what Suze calls taking a snapshot of your finances. It's all about getting a clear, honest picture of your current financial situation. And yes, This can be a little uncomfortable, especially if things aren't looking great. But trust me, this step is crucial if you want to make real progress. So, where do you start? First, gather all the information you can about your income, expenses, assets, and debts. This means looking at your paychecks, your bills, your savings accounts, any investments you may have, and your debt balances, everything. This might take some time, but it's worth the effort. You can use a budgeting app, a simple spreadsheet, or even a notebook, whatever works best for you. Once you have all this data, it's time to categorize it. How much are you bringing in each month? How much are you spending? What are your fixed expenses, like rent or mortgage, and what are your variable expenses, like dining out or shopping? Don't forget to list your savings and any investments you've made so far, along with the amount of any debt you owe, like credit cards, student loans, or car payments. This process can be eye-opening. Maybe you'll realize that you're spending more than you thought on certain things, or maybe you'll find that you're not saving as much as you'd like. That's okay. The point here isn't to judge yourself, it's to get clarity. Once you have this financial snapshot, you can start making informed decisions about where to cut back, where to save more, and how to tackle your debts. This step gives you a solid foundation to build on, helping you set realistic goals and move forward with confidence. Chapter 4. Try harder to save. Now that you have a clear picture of your finances, the next step is to focus on something Suze Orman is very passionate about: saving. In her words, you need to try harder to save. And yes, she's serious about this, because the truth is, most people don't save nearly enough. Suze stresses that building financial security isn't just about paying off debt or cutting expenses. It's about making saving a top priority. She always says, save before you spend, and that means paying yourself first. Every time money comes in, whether it's from your job or a side hustle, the first thing you should do is set some of it aside for savings. Here's the thing, saving money can feel tough, especially when you're juggling debt payments or facing rising expenses. But it's not about making huge sacrifices all at once. Suze recommends that you start small, then gradually increasing how much you save each month. Even an extra 1% or 2% added to your savings can make a big difference over time. For example, if you're contributing 5% of your paycheck to savings right now, try bumping that up to 6% or 7% next month. You'll barely notice the difference in your day-to-day spending, but over the course of a year, it adds up. And don't forget about your retirement savings. Suze is adamant that you should be putting as much as possible into your retirement accounts, especially if your employer offers matching contributions. That's free money you don't want to leave on the table. Chapter 5. Separate savings from investments. Now, let's move on to a crucial piece of Suze Orman's financial wisdom that many people overlook: separating your savings from your investments. While both are essential for financial security, they serve very different purposes, and treating them the same way can lead to trouble down the line. Suze is clear about this. Your savings should be for short-term needs and emergencies, while your investments should be for long-term growth and financial goals. The key difference here is accessibility and risk. Let's talk about savings first. This is the money you want to keep safe and accessible. Think of your emergency fund. This is the money you'll need if something unexpected happens, like a job loss, medical expenses, or even an urgent car repair. This money should be easy to access, and that means it needs to be in a liquid, low-risk account like a savings account, money market account, or a high-yield savings account. The goal here isn't to grow this money with high returns. It's about keeping it secure for when you need it. On the other hand, investments are for your future. They're for retirement, your children's education, or other long-term goals. Unlike savings, your investment money should be working for you by earning returns over time. This money goes into stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or real estate. And while these investments can grow, they also come with risks. You shouldn't tap into this money for day-to-day expenses or emergencies, because pulling it out too early can mean losing out on growth or even facing penalties. So here's Suze's advice. Make sure you have a solid savings foundation before diving deep into investments. It's about balance. Build up an emergency fund first. And once that's in place, you can start focusing on long-term growth through investing. And that's it for today's video. I hope Suze Orman's advice has given you some practical steps to start building your path to financial security. It's not about making drastic changes overnight. It's about consistent, smart choices that add up over time. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more tips to help you take control of your finances. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.